Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star Part 297 based on novel. So let's start. Be careful. Pulling Tracy's diagram. The Universe Masters who were fighting each other were all terrified by the self-destruction of Yuan Ao Master. A Universe Master 1,000,000 kilometers tall had blown himself up, and the energies burst out instantly. The resulting shock wave was billions of times stronger than a supernova. It eradicated everything. The space fragments flying in the distance turned into particles. So did the space around him. As for the Universe Masters, they all tried to form a huge protection, either by using pinnacle domain-type true treasures or burning their godly power. Defend. We can't let that shock wave destroy the Pulling Tracy's diagram. Everyone, including Black Universe Creator, manipulating the space, was trying to resist that shock wave. The center of the explosion was horrendous, and Black Universe Creator, who was fighting Yuan Ao Master, was affected the most. However, he had a supreme true treasure to protect him, so he only bounced away several kilometers without being injured. As for Ice Mountain Palace, which was close to Yuan Ao Master, it was also blasted away. The power of the shock wave was already significantly weakened when the shock wave arrived at the Universe Masters, but the Universe Masters still felt pressured, as they needed to protect both themselves and the fragments of Pulling Tracy's diagram. Even with that defense, the shock wave turned the space into particles. As for the fragments of Pulling Tracy's diagram, they were floating in space, and because of the shock wave, they flew in all directions. After a while, the shock wave dissipated. We protected it. Humph. That Yuan Ao Master didn't want to make things difficult for us, even going so far as to commit suicide. If it weren't for so many Universe Masters being here, the Pulling Tracy's diagram fragments would have been turned into ashes. Thank God. The space 10 billion square kilometers around them had been turned to particles, and they flowed like sand. The particles, elements of space, started to gather. Luofeng was relieved after defending himself against that shock wave. Luofeng, 2 huge fragments of the Pulling Tracy's diagram are flying toward you. A godly power transmitted a voice. Luofeng noticed the 2 fragments of Pulling Tracy's diagram instantly. He looked back and saw 2 fragments floating tens of millions of kilometers away from him, and the 2 fragments were significantly large. The smaller one was twice as big as the one he obtained, and the larger one was more than 3 times larger. It's mine. Luofeng flew toward it like a beam of light. Not on my watch. A roar was transmitted through godly power. That's mine. Luofeng took a glimpse. The giant black skywolf was also flying toward it, roaring at several others who were trying to seize it. Humph. Skywolf, you want to compete with me for that? Towering Flame Emperor, holding his giant Yangshan halberd, transmitted his voice. My third brother, don't even think about getting this one. Ha ha ha. I haven't gotten any fragments yet, Yunnan Master laughed. Then let's fight, said Luofeng coldly. At that moment, Flame Emperor, Luofeng, Yunnan Master, and Skywolf Master were the closest to the fragment, and Flame Emperor and Luofeng tried to compete for it. Other than them, Ice Mountain Master and Yumo Master were also approaching the fragments. Apparently, the 2 fragments were close to each other, and since they were large, the Universe Masters would fight for those 2. Let me help you, Luofeng. Ice Mountain Master flew toward him like a trace of light. Skywolf, let's strive together. Yumo Master also flew toward them. All was madness. The 6 Universe Masters were all staring at the fragments with eyes gleaming. No? Luofeng felt intimidated. Yunnan Master was incredibly fast, the fastest out of all of them. Luofeng tried to suppress him using his Golden Country, but the black mist around Yunnan Master blocked it. They were rather far from each other, so 9 Tiger River couldn't reach him. Uncle, do you have a domain-type true treasure? Luofeng transmitted his voice instantly. I do, answered Ice Mountain Master. Uncle, combine your domain-type true treasure and my Golden Country, said Luofeng. Then we can resist them. Sure. The black mist permeated, and there were ice crystals in the mist surrounded by golden light. They tried to stop the other parties altogether. Under that power, the black mist of Yunnan Master crumbled. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng, this winged true treasure of yours is indeed powerful, said Ice Mountain Master. It has such a strong control over space. With my top-tier domain-type true treasure, Cold Fog Sector, it can compare to a pinnacle domain-type true treasure. Ice Mountain Master was excited, which was rare. These two fragments belong to us humans. Yes? Luo Feng got excited. Damn it! Flame Emperor roared. Under that double pressure of the black mist and the golden light, Flame Emperor was slowed down significantly. However, he could only clench his teeth and reluctantly admit defeat. He transmitted his exasperated voice, "Damn you, third brother." Flame Emperor flew in another direction. He didn't want to waste his time, as he knew he couldn't get the fragments. He needed to hurry and get other fragments. Ha ha ha. Milky Way Horde leader, you're indeed impressive. It seems the two fragments will fall into your hands. I'll stop now. Yunnan Master also found out that he was too slow to get that under the suppression. He transmitted his guffawing voice and left like a beam of light. Two parties chose to leave. Only the demon race and human race were still competing. Human Luo Feng. Skywolf Master stared at Luo Feng in the distance. You were just a baby when I first met you, and now you're so powerful. Unfortunately, you humans are too naive compared to us demon race. Colorful threads showed up in the sky, and they extended everywhere. They hit the black mist, which was suppressed, and retreated instantly. Even with Golden Country, Cold Fog Sector kept drawing back under that power. Ice Mountain Master was irritated. Dream Ancestor Domain. Dream Ancestor Domain. Dream Demon Ancestor was one of the two Universe Supreme Masters of the demon race, and the true treasure she used was naturally famous. She had several true treasures that were well known in the universe, at least, and the pinnacle domain-type true treasure, Dream Ancestor Domain, was one of them. They have Dream Ancestor Domain. Luo Feng grew anxious. It's a bit trickier, now. The combination of Golden Country and Cold Fog Sector may have been able to rival a pinnacle domain-type true treasure, but it was still inferior to Dream Ancestor Domain. I don't have enough godly power. If I become a Universe Master, my godly power will be able to make Golden Country stronger, and with Ice Fog Sector, it'll be able to rival that Dream Ancestor Domain. Luo Feng felt bad, but he couldn't do anything about it. Ice Mountain Master transmitted his voice. We still have hope. However, the hideous Yumo Master screamed, and black vines shot out of his body. Instantly, 81 black vines covered the sky for tens of millions of square kilometers, and they charged Luo Feng. Devil Eyelet Vine. Luo Feng looked ghastly. It's Devil Eyelet Vine. Ice Mountain Master was also furious. Devil Eyelet Vine was another one of the well-known true treasures of Dream Demon Ancestor, and it was a pinnacle attack-type true treasure on the spiritual force leader path. Pinnacle true treasures should be the least valuable out of all the pinnacle true treasures, yet there were huge gaps among the pinnacle true treasure weapons. Force armor, for instance, was one of the best pinnacle true treasure armors. As for those inferior ones, they were only able to weaken the attack to 1/10,000th. The same rule applied to Devil Eyelet Vine. It was extremely valuable. The vines could be combined as one and could be used as a splash. They could be separated to bind the enemies. Although they could be cut into parts, those parts could merge as one immediately. Ha ha! The major powers in the universe sent Universe Masters, but the Universe Masters sent by the demon race are the weakest. Skywolf Master transmitted his voice and sounded insolent. Ha ha! The demon race is the strongest among the 6 pinnacle races. How is it possible that it sent the weakest Universe Masters? We're just here to show that we're weak, and we'll only show our trump card when it's crucial. Dream Demon Ancestor gave us Dream Ancestor Domain and Devil Eyelet Vine, and they are extraordinary in terms of fighting and fleeing. Ha ha ha, you didn't know our trump cards in the first place, so you relaxed. You weren't vigilant, and that's how we can now take advantage. If you knew our trump cards in advance and resisted us, wouldn't have been able to do that. These two fragments are worthy of our trump cards. Sky Wolf Master was smug as the 81 black vines waved through space. Luo Feng immediately appeared, and so did Ice Mountain Master. Damn it! Luo Feng clenched his teeth. Ice Mountain Master looked irritated as well. They both understood that they had been played by the demon race. Luo Feng looked at the two fragments of the pulling traces diagram floating far away, then at the 81 swaying black vines which exuded a vast power as he thought to himself, even if I were to execute I Am the Universe together with Golden Kingdom and Cold Fog Sector, I might only be able to suppress Dream Ancestors' domain. That Devil Island vine would still be able to beset me. One-on-one, even if Sky Wolf Master possessed Dream Ancestors' domain, he would still dare to brave it out. But if the two pinnacle true treasures, Devil Island Vine and Dream Ancestors' domain were to be combined, he would meet the end of his resources, helpless and without hope. Ice Mountain Master was more decisive and straightforward. The moment he realized this fragment was hopeless, he gave up immediately. Luo Feng, let's go, he said. We shall go get the other fragments of Pulling Traces diagram. Okay. Luo Feng nodded and looked at the faraway fragment of the Pulling Traces diagram with great reluctance before transforming into a beam of light and flying off. Ha ha ha, the Black Sky Wolf flew towards the two fragments of Pulling Traces diagram feeling extremely pleased. Human Luo Feng. Ha ha. You mere humans want to contend with us demons? What a joke. Humph. In earlier years, when you were all weak, you showed such arrogance. Now that you have become a universe master, you are still not my match. Sky Wolf, there is still a fragment of Pulling Traces diagram far away, and I am making my way there, Remote Lord Master informed him via voice transmission. Okay, Sky Wolf Master was quick to agree. The other fragments of Pulling Traces diagram here are drifting further apart, and the majority are not that big. They are not worth our joint efforts. We shall split for now and seek the other fragments of the Pulling Traces diagram separately. Maybe we are able to obtain more that way. Luo Feng and Ice Mountain Master were quick to separate and seek the random fragments, too. After all, there was only a total of close to 20 Universe Masters. The number of fragments of Pulling Traces diagram was more than the number of Universe Masters. If two Universe Masters were to act together, although it would greatly boost the success rate of obtaining fragments, they would lose out in chances to fight for more fragments. Unless they were in a situation similar to the previous one, where one fight could earn them something that was comparable to 6 or 7 fragments, it was not a preferred method to join hands in a battle. It's mine. Ice Mountain, stay away from this piece. Ha ha ha. 9 Remoteness Master, you are here too. Without a domain-type true treasure, how can you defeat us? The battles for contention grew serious. The interlayer of this space had been formed when close to 20 Universe Masters from the top 9 powers exerted their powers. Some of them were blessed with natural strength, like Ice Mountain Master and Canvas Devil Master, while some had extremely strong true treasures, like Remote Lord Master, Sky Wolf Master, and Sea Lotus Master. All of these Universe Masters were executing their techniques. I am the universe. During the process of fighting for the fragments of Pulling Traces diagram, Luo Feng had used I am the universe twice, and to his best efforts. Yet even though he had used it twice, he could only obtain a fragment once. This showed how intense the fights were. While Universe Masters of the top 9 powers were individually exerting their powers, fighting like crazy for those fragments, in the void space in the distance, Black Universe Creator's gigantic flaming palm had grabbed hold of that black godly wood. Strange object obtained, said Black Universe Creator in a voice that was low and powerful. With a slight turn of his flaming head, he looked far into the void space, where chaotic battle raged. Previously, it was because Yuan AO Master had been constantly on the run while Black Universe Creator remained in hot pursuit. The self-destruction of Yuan AO Master had happened at a position that was very far from the Pulling Traces diagram. I thought I would need to pay a hefty price to find this strange object, thought Black Universe Creator, and I was quite prepared to offer some true treasures to the top 9 powers. Who would have thought I could get it so easily? Black Universe Creator's eyes scanned his surroundings. In a faraway spot within the void space, there were fragments flying about randomly at high speeds, colliding into a gigantic shield, sending the shield tumbling and flying off in a frenzy. Shield. Round hammer. Holy Grail. Grey armor. One after another, true treasures were scattered and flying off randomly in all directions within that void space. Previously, when Yuan Ao Master self-destructed, the force that emanated was frighteningly powerful. Even his world ring had cracked and shattered. Some ordinary materials and objects were annihilated to nothing. Only some of the precious true treasures could survive the impact. Numerous true treasures were flying off in random directions, and because of the collisions with countless other fragments flying at high speeds at random, these true treasures changed course and flew off in other directions too. With this object, I have achieved my goal. Black Universe Creator looked at the chaotic battle going on far away. These true treasures are scattered all over the place. If I were to go fight for some, the traveling alone would require a long time. I would probably be able to get 1 or 2 treasures. To me, I am content with a self-protection type supreme true treasure and the strange godly wood for attacking purposes. As for the various true treasures scattered all over, since flying there would already be time-consuming, I will just leave it to the rest to toil through the battles. I'm leaving. The golden-flamed figure speedily flew up into the sky and vanished amidst the vast, chaotic space. There had not been many fragments of the pulling traces diagram in the first place. With nearly 20 universe masters from the top powers of the primal universe fighting their best to obtain these fragments, it only took a short moment for everything that could be seen in space to be taken by eager seekers. The stronger beings with more powerful true treasures like Canthus Devil Master and Golden Horn Master naturally had an edge above the rest, while those who were extremely skilled in controlling time and space would have a small advantage over the rest. Luo Feng had not managed to seize much, merely 2 fragments, yet he used his Golden Kingdom to help Ice Mountain Master, who was already an extremely powerful being. After all, if the area under the influence of Golden Kingdom expanded, then no matter where Ice Mountain Master wanted to see something from, with Golden Kingdom supplementing him, he would succeed no matter what. This made him invincible. Ha ha! This has been quite rewarding, Ice Mountain Master said, expressing his gratitude via voice transmission. I must thank you, Luo Feng, for your help. With your Golden Kingdom assisting me, together with my top-tier domain-type true treasure and my personal power, I have seized an amount that is comparable to Canthus Devil Master, which is a total of 5. Adding on to the 2 you seized, we humans have managed to obtain a total of 7, which is considered quite a feat. A pity the demons managed to obtain 2 fragments that were much bigger. What a pity. This time, among the 9 top powers, the distribution was as such: some got more, the others got less. The Space Beast Alliance topped the list, obtaining a total of 10. The 9 Territory Alliance was at the bottom of the list with merely 3. Of course, the judgment could not be based solely on superficial numbers, because the fragments of the pulling traces diagram were different in size. A larger piece could be the equivalent of many small ones. While Sky Wolf Master and Remote Lord Master of the Demon Clan might have obtained a total of 5 altogether, the total area obtained by adding all the fragments of the pulling traces diagram might not lose out much to that of the Space Beast Alliance. The Space Beast Alliance has Golden Horn Master, said Flame Emperor. The Prison Clan has Canthus Lord Master. And humanity has Ice Mountain Master who, in turn, has Golden Kingdom as empowerment. The Demon Clan actually brought along 2 of Dream Demon Ancestors' extremely powerful true treasures. These 4 top powers have already seized more than half of the total, with each possessing about 1/6 of the total. Universe Masters had everything that happened within battlefields at their fingertips. They were also very clear about how much they obtained. The exchange of blows this time around was also a clear demonstration of Luo Feng's capability. Endless golden light, and the ability to control time and space. He is much stronger than a Universe Master who only wields the power to control a part of time and space. And that endless golden light seemed to be activated and catalyzed by the 4 silver wings. His true treasure wings may lose out a little to a pinnacle domain-type true treasure in terms of power, but when it could control time and space, this was simply unbelievable. Its value is completely comparable to that of a pinnacle domain-type true treasure. Humph. If he did not have that golden light space and time domain, Ice Mountain Master would never have been able to see so many fragments of the pulling traces diagram. Sky Wolf Master and some other universe masters were now coveting Luo Feng's true treasures. But their helplessness outmatched their desires. Luo Feng was someone who had single-handedly killed over 6,000 universe knights from the three major alliances. They just had to let their desires go, albeit with great reluctance. Sitting Mountain Guest is so biased, said Flame Emperor. He only gave me original soul and Yangshan halberd. And force armor was only on loan when I needed it. When Luo Feng entered the picture, I had to return it to Luo Feng. Flame Emperor's heart was filled with hatred. Sitting Mountain Guest even gave the supreme true treasure, Star Tower, to Luo Feng. Force armor and Star Tower. I was aware that he had given them to him, but his true treasure wings that can control time and space. How rare and unique they are. Only someone like Sitting Mountain Guest could possibly own it, and he actually gave it to Luo Feng. What bias? Just wait, just wait. I may not have gotten as much as you, but I will trample on you, and one fine day, I may even be able to be like Teacher Origin, who has everyone, even Sitting Mountain Guest, at his feet. Throughout the universe, rampaging the universe. I am the universe. Flame Emperor was so overwhelmed that it filled his entire heart. There are true treasures a distance from here. Those are the true treasures that Yuan Ao Master left behind after he self-destructed. Black Universe Creator actually left. Hurry up, true treasures. A universe supreme being who was a lone wanderer, with nothing to worry about and nothing to hold him back, had gained a strange godly wood. Maybe to Black Universe Creator, the only thing left that could attract him was a supreme true treasure. As for those true treasures that Yuan Ao Master had left behind after his death, they were nothing worthy to Black Universe Creator. It's the same reason why Sitting Mountain Guest could give such a great amount of valuables to his disciples without any regrets. Why? Because he had enough for himself, with nothing to worry about and nothing to hold him back, so there was nothing more he required. Those that became excess would only be stored in the treasure vault, never to see daylight again. On the contrary, Space Ancestor and Huge Axe Creator both led their races. They had responsibilities to take care of, so they valued and held other pinnacle true treasure with high regard. One by one, the Universe Masters flew off in various directions at top speed. Yuan Ao Master left behind quite a sizable amount of valuable treasures after being annihilated, but as his godly body self-destructed with such great might, all his true treasures had been rocketed in all directions. All of them had landed very far from where Yuan Ao had self-destructed and, unfortunately, also very far apart from one another. The Universe Masters could only choose one target and head in that specific direction. Luo Feng locked his eyes on the Holy Grail right away. Sand Cup. That Holy Grail was originally named Sand Cup. It was also known as Flame Sand Cup and was one of the top-tier domain-type true treasure under Yuan Ao Master's possession. Previously, this Sand Cup was what Yuan Ao Master had used to release that domain of flame. The armor, shield, hammer, and everything else are all useless to me, said Luo Feng. To maximize the full potential of my Golden Kingdom, I will need a top-tier domain-type true treasure that matches it well. Then, together with my miniature universe, even in the face of a pinnacle domain-type true treasure, I am pretty sure the combination of these three would be difficult to suppress. Naturally, Luo Feng was determined to get his way, but at that moment, Sky Wolf Master was also making his way over rapidly from another direction. Sky Wolf Master, Golden Horn Master and Sea Lotus Master who own pinnacle domain-type true treasures were all giving full play to their treasure's power, continuously colliding with one another from afar. Luo Feng's endless golden light moved to form a complete cover but without colliding with the others. The other Universe Masters were unable to control time and space, unable to use their domain to their advantage, or, even worse, unable to detect the position of some true treasures that were slightly further away. That's mine. Sky Wolf Master flew over at top speed. It's mine, said Luo Feng. Both attempted to shift the Flame Sand Cup nearer to them by exerting control over the true treasure from afar. However, it was obvious that Skywolf Master's pinnacle domain type true treasure was a notch stronger. Luo Feng and Skywolf Master were closing in on the Sand Cup without so much as a pause. When they were both around 60 million miles away from the Sand Cup, and when there was only Luo Feng and Skywolf Master left within that 60 million mile area, Luo Feng's eyes flashed a sharp look. The seizure of treasures has to come to an end, and this Sand Cup must fall in my hands, he announced. I am the universe. Because he had his golden horned beast body to replenish his godly power, his equal's original earthling body was able to stay at its pinnacle condition. The vast void space fell into darkness in an instant. A chaotic airflow spread outward. Within this miniature universe, at a diameter of 60 million miles, there were only two souls, Luo Feng and Skywolf Master. Is that the chaotic world that has been shrunken to a miniature size? Said Skywolf Master. Skywolf Master was shocked. This operation had been rather delightful, and the number of fragments of the pulling traces diagram obtained was plentiful. If he could finish things off by obtaining this top-tier domain-type true treasure, everything would be perfect. But one look at this endless chaotic airflow, and he knew right away that Luo Feng was going to use his strongest technique. Ha ha ha. Human Luo Feng, it's just you alone, said Skywolf Master, yet you wish to fight me. The black form of Skywolf Master flew amidst the endless chaotic airflow, but his voice alone was able to make the surrounding chaotic airflow tremor and disperse. Luo Feng looked at Skywolf Master in the distance. He hadn't had any power to resist Skywolf Master before. He was a top-tier universe master when it came to mind, willpower, techniques, and true treasures. Even if he had a weaker godly body, with his true treasures, he didn't need to fear any universe master. Humph. That URAO master had the godly wood, and even he couldn't defeat me. Luo Feng thought. As for this Skywolf Master, he's the weakest among the 19 Universe Masters, and he's inferior to Flame Emperor. The only edge he has is Dream Ancestor Domain. I can combine Miniature Universe, Golden Country, and 9 Tiger River to suppress him. I might have a weaker godly body, so I can't rival those powerful Universe Masters. However, a mere Skywolf Master. Humph. Luo Feng didn't even consider Skywolf Palace a challenge. Ha ha ha. You want to fight me with this small chaos world, roared Skywolf Master. I have a true treasure from Dream Demon Ancestor, and I'll let you see the true power of the true treasure. Get away. The dreamland formed by the colorful traces blasted everywhere and hit the membrane of Luo Feng's miniature universe. However, that miniature universe consumed 10% of Luo Feng's godly body, and it was formed by his supreme technique. It was not that easy to break. Skywolf Master, this Dream Ancestor Domain is all you've got. Luo Feng shouted. Just watch me break this Dream Ancestor Domain. Let's see how you're going to fight me after that. An endless golden river flooded out and permeated the surrounding space. Ha ha. Dream Ancestor Domain is a pinnacle domain type true treasure, said Skywolf Master. You want to? Ah. Skywolf Master was shocked. The colorful dreamland started to clash, and with the help of Golden Country and Miniature Universe, the Golden River was unstoppable. The dreamland was like a huge star domain. It tried to expand, but it was forced to contract under the power of the Golden River. Impossible. This is a true treasure of Dream Demon Ancestor. It won't lose. Break. 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 The green eyes of Skywolf Master glinted with fierceness. Dream Ancestor Domain formed a dreamy domain. It kept hitting the Golden River, but it kept retreating and getting smaller. Ha ha ha. You're destined to lose. Luo Feng guffawed. It's useless. Golden Country and Ice Fog Sector combined, and they were already able to rival the ordinary pinnacle domain type true treasures. This was only slightly weaker than Dream Ancestor Domain. As for Miniature Universe, it was more powerful than Ice Fog Sector. Miniature Universe, Golden Country, and 9 Tiger River. The combination of these three was slightly more powerful than Dream Ancestor Domain. Trap! Luo Feng shouted. He wasn't far from Skywolf Master, who was in the area of 9 Tiger River. The Golden River covered Sky Wolf Master like a huge egg, and the Dream Ancestor domain remained around Sky Wolf Palace like a yolk. How is it possible? Dream Ancestor domain is being suppressed. Sky Wolf Master was shocked. Once Luo Feng performed Miniature Universe, he immediately trapped and suppressed Sky Wolf Palace with the aid of Golden Country and Nine Tiger River. However, Luo Feng faced a difficult choice. Miniature Universe can only be maintained for 9 seconds every time it's performed. Even if I fly in light speed, I can only travel several million kilometers in 9 minutes. I'm now 18 million kilometers away from Sky Wolf Master and almost 100 million kilometers away from the Flame Sand Cup. I can't get to Sky Wolf Master or get the Flame Sand Cup solely by flying. I have to use my Mosha body. Mosha body could teleport himself several hundred times in 1 second, and he could travel several million kilometers every second. It would take around 30 seconds to travel 100 million kilometers. It would take around 5 seconds to travel 18 million kilometers. The most important thing is to get Flame Sand Cup. Luo Feng didn't dare take any risks. He moved his mind, and Mosha body showed up. Phantoms appeared in the Golden River. They came from Mosha body moving at its greatest speed. He traveled 400 times every second, and it took him 24 seconds to get to the Flame Sand Cup. The Flame Sand Cup was a strange, transparent cup filled with sand. Halos surrounded the sand. Mosha body took Flame Sand Cup and put it in the World Ring. Then he performed his inherited technique domain again and rushed toward the original Earthling original. It took him another 24 seconds to get back to the original Earthling body and get back into the World Ring. Ha ha ha, Luo Feng laughed. He had to maintain, I am the universe, so he couldn't get into the World Ring. 10% of his godly body was consumed every 9 seconds, and around 60% of his godly body was gone. He had performed it twice while fighting for the Pulling Traces diagram. Fortunately, he had Golden Horned Beast body to supply the godly power, so the original Earthling body was still at its best status. However, Golden Horned Beast was extremely weak now. After Luo Feng fought Yuan Ao Master, he went back to his god country once and filled the godly power. Damn it! The black form of Sky Wolf Master broke the golden waves with the dreamy light domain around his godly body. However, after a few dozen seconds, he saw Luo Feng get the valuable. Although he tried his best, the golden waves were too broad, and with the Golden Country and Miniature Universe, he wasted all his time. Miniature Universe disappeared. Sky Wolf Master, you had Umo Master to help you last time, and that was how you got the fragment of the Pulling Traces diagram, said Luo Feng. How dare you fight me alone this time? If it weren't for Dream Ancestor domain, I would crush you so badly that you could only resort to hiding in your Sky Wolf Palace. Luo Feng guffawed. This infuriated Sky Wolf Master. Human Luo Feng, are you really comparing yourself to me? You were suppressed even after practicing for such a long time, and you think it's an honor? Luo Feng shook his wing, took back Space Seal, and flew into the distance. Sky Wolf Master floated in the sky, watched, and clenched his teeth. Damn it! It was exceedingly difficult for a Universe Master to kill another Universe Master unless the power gap between them was significant, so most of the fights were about esteem. Sky Wolf Master and Umo Master had suddenly utilized the two incredible true treasures Dream Ancestor Domain and Devil Islet Vine so they could surely get the fragments. However, he had fought Luo Feng for that Flame Sand Cup with Dream Ancestor Domain, but he lost the fight. It was like a slap in the face from Luo Feng. Damn it, grumbled Sky Wolf Master. That human nobody, he dared to. He dared to. Sky Wolf Master recalled that he had been bestowed Dream Ancestor Domain because of a special situation, and he needed to return it to Dream Demon Ancestor. He was suppressed even with Dream Ancestor Domain, if he hadn't had that. The more he thought about it, the more ashamed he got. I should have killed Luo Feng when I saw the first time. Sky Wolf Master clenched his teeth. He saw Umo Master look at him. I'm coming. Sky Wolf Master teleported himself and went toward him. Luo Feng had rescinded the Space Seal, so Sky Wolf Master was able to teleport. Perhaps all the Universe Masters, and also Black Universe Creator, thought that they had suffered a loss compared to other great beings, that they had all benefited big time. The only unlucky one was Yuan Ao Master, who had self-destructed. Luo Feng met Ice Mountain Master. Ha ha ha. I saw that Sky Wolf Master suffered losses and you defeated him. Ice Mountain Master smiled. Luo Feng smiled. I got Flame Sand Cup. Flame Sand Cup. Ice Mountain Master's eyes gleamed, and he praised Luo Feng. Impressive, Luo Feng. Flame Sand Cup is a top-tier domain-type true treasure. Each top-tier domain-type true treasure is precious. Like that Blade River Luo. The components are scattered, and it'll take a long time to find all of them. Like your teacher, Star River Master, many well-known universe masters are using top-tier domain-type true treasures. Luo Feng nodded. The uncle in front of him was also using a top-tier domain-type true treasure. Actually, the reason why so many of them carry pinnacle true treasures is because of the mega struggle, said Ice Mountain Master. Most of them don't own pinnacle true treasures themselves but were lent them by Universe Supreme Masters. It's only been a short time since you became a Universe Master, but you possess better true treasures than many Universe Masters. Luo Feng smiled. Like Sky Wolf Master, he was only using a top-tier true treasure, and Sky Wolf Palace was only a senior Flying Palace type true treasure. All your true treasures, wing, weapon, armor, and Flame Sand Cup, incredible, Ice Mountain Master complimented. It's just slightly inferior to your teachers. During the conversation, they broke the space and went back to the Yuan Ao secret region. 3 beings flew toward them. They were 9 Remoteness Master, Yunnan Master, and Anaconda Master. Luo Feng, do you want to go to the Ancestral God School? Said 9 Remoteness Master. Luo Feng smiled. 9 Remoteness Master, I've reported it to Ancestral God, and the task is finished. Now that Ancestral God knows, I don't need to get back. I need to go back to the human territory. Milky Way Horde Leader, we'll separate here. Yunnan Master and Anaconda Master stood beside 9 Remoteness Master. The golden light shone, and 9 Remoteness Master, Yunnan Master, and Anaconda Master went into the golden light and disappeared. Luo Feng turned around and looked to Ice Mountain Master. Uncle, let's go. Sure. Ice Mountain Master nodded. A green light shone, and Luo Feng and Ice Mountain Master left and went back to the human territory. Every power had gained something, but Yuan Ao Master had died. After going back to the human territory, Luo Feng and Ice Mountain Master immediately connected to the virtual universe and told Primal Chaos City Leader everything. This video will end here.